Okay, now that we understand the concept of a slope, how do we find a linear equation? What's the approach to do that? Well, to start, I need to have 2 points, as we saw when we calculated the slope in our earlier example, or 1 point and a slope. Let's start with the case of 2 points. Suppose I had the point -3, 2, and the other point was, let's just say 10, -2. So how do we go about finding the linear equation? Well, first is we're going to try and find it in terms of our slope-intercept form. There are 3 forms of a linear equation: slope-intercept, point-slope, and standard form. Students are probably most familiar with the slope-intercept, which is your traditional y equals m, our constant for the slope, x plus b, where b represents the y-intercept. So how do I take advantage of that with the 2 points? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is find my slope. Between these 2 points, how do I get that slope? We know how to do that. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is, in this case, 2 minus 2. And by the way, I could choose either point to be my x2, y2, or x1, y1. I just have to stay consistent, okay? So my x2, x1, well, I have to use this as my x2 then, -3, minus my x1, which is -10. The result for the slope here would be 2 minus or plus 2, which is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. -3 minus 10, which is -13. The slope between these 2 points, or the line that passes through these 2 points, is -4/13. So we know it's relatively flat, and it will be going down to the right, okay, just by knowing the measure of the slope. Now, how do I take advantage of our slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, to calculate the slope in this case? Well, I'm going to set up my equation, y equals mx plus b, and I know the slope. I'm going to plug that in. That's 4, or -4/13. Y equals -4/13 x plus b. Well, I need to solve for b. How do I get that? Well, I have x, y points, -3, 2, and 10, -2. I can choose to plug in any of those points for x, y, and it doesn't matter. It could be any point on the line. So let's choose 10, -2. If my x value is 10, that's -4 times 10 over 13. My y value would be -2, and I would solve for b in the equation at that point. So let's add 40/13 to both sides. B will equal -2, which is -26/13, expressing it as a fraction with a common denominator, plus our 40/13, which we add to both sides. The result is 40 minus 26 is 14/13. That's the value of b. My resulting equation is going to be y equals -4/13 x plus 14/13. And not pretty with all the fractions, but that's the equation of the line that passes through the 2 given points. We started with 2 points, which is what we need to find a linear equation. We calculated a slope. We took the slope and another point that lies on the line, and we calculated the linear equation. And that's one way to find the linear equation.